Welcome to Shuck Around and Find Out, and today we are going to find out about Marty, who's mortgage broker at Dominion Lending Services, and that's Marty Woolley. Welcome to the show, Marty.
Thanks, Chris. Pleasure to be here.
So what do you do?
Well, I'm a mortgage agent with Dominion Lending Centers. Have been for the last 8 years now. Mortgage broker, mortgage agent. We do, I work with most of the major banks. We have over 100 lenders. We're kind of your alternative to the bank. My service is pretty much 24/7. With the banks close at 5 o'clock, most people aren't buying houses before 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. So, we offer a multitude of services. The big banks, they do tend to have a box, and if you don't fit into that box, then you're probably not getting approved. Where being a mortgage broker, we have over 100 lenders, and we tend to think outside that box, and we can find pretty much a mortgage for anyone. If there's a mortgage that can be put on a property, I can find it.
Wow. Sounds good. Well, so tell me a time, we're on Shuck Around and Find Out. Tell me a time from your past or recently where you shucked around and find out. But I'll start.
Okay.
So in my younger years, after probably watching a little bit too much of the Food Network early on, I thought it'd be a great idea to buy a pizzeria. And boy, did I fuck around and find out, Marty. I came out of it relatively unscathed with I consider a minor $19,000 loss, but worst 6 months of not worse, I learned a lot in 6 months, but I definitely got in over my head. I shucked around and I found out the hard way. So tell me, recent, past, were you?
Well, I can almost, I'll probably make it a little broader instead of a specific situation. I think I shucked around for probably the better part of 25 years. Before becoming a mortgage broker, I had a multitude of jobs. I was a quality technician in automotive. But what I mean shucking around or fucking around back then was, I just didn't take life very seriously. I drank a lot, I partied a lot, and, I didn't have any interest. I just wanted to skate by in life and just do the minimum. And as long as I had, enough money to, have fun on the weekends and go on trips, I was okay with it. And you'd think that's something you do in your 20s. Well, I took it a little farther. I went well into my 30s living that way, and it just, I thought that was going to be it. So I spent the better part of my life, for, better words, shucking around. And, I actually gave up drinking just over 3 years ago, and got a little more serious, started working on myself a little more, and life's a lot better for it. So yeah,
It's definitely a better life. Okay, well, we are on Shuck Around. We're gonna eat some oysters. I'm gonna put a pin on that where you started 3 years ago. Probably get into some personal development, but it's lunchtime.
For everyone that knows, I'm not a big oyster guy. I've had a few. I did actually try some of Chris's oysters at the Revel event last week, which would have been one of my first times. So let's give this a go.
Well, thanks for having an open mind. These oysters are from Raspberry Point out in PEI, and the variety that we're eating today is Shiny Sea. So now, not being an oyster guy, we have 6 different oysters, 6 different ways to eat them.
So I'll try them all.
Are you a hot sauce guy?
I don't mind hot sauce. I'll you know what? There's 6 oysters, 6 ways. I'll try one of each.
Okay, well, you take your pick. 2 hot sauces, a sweet. This is a mignette, red wine vinegar, diced shallots, and maple syrup. Fresh with lemon slices and horseradish, which has got a bit of heat.
Well, I think from my experience watching cooking shows, I should probably save the spice to the last so it doesn't ruin my palate, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Take your pick.
So, I'll start with this. So I just throw a little bit on
Yeah,
there.
well,
and-
I'll show you what I do. I would get about that much. Put it on there. And so you're gonna do, shoot it back, couple chews, release the salt, and let me know what you think.
Good.
Sweet.
Salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, quit the booze.
Quit the booze.
I can relate. Going on 5 for me.
Yeah.
Now, I got huge into personal development at that time. It was when I was in rehab, that's what I realized it was enough shucking around. And I went hard into studying the GOAT, like Jim Rohn, Eric Thomas. What have you done yourself when it comes to...
I mean, probably back in 2017, my whole life, like I said, I did as little as possible. That included, as far as reading, even as far as in school, I didn't read any of the books. I, read the back of the book on my book report and made up the rest. That was kind of my style. So I did start reading a little bit in 2017. Started, attempting to change my lifestyle a bit. I was still drinking and having a bit of fun, but I've always been somewhat disciplined where, I've been going to the gym for 20 plus years, for a long time. Mm-hmm. I've always been able to kind of maintain that for the most part. But discipline is big in my world. I'm up now. I'm up every day at 4:30 in the morning. Get up, I read. Mm-hmm. Usually read some sort of self-help book. I'm actually currently reading Jordan Peterson's newest book, and I love Jordan Peterson. I don't love his new book as much as his other ones. So,
12 rules.
No, that's his previous one.
Yeah.
Those are good. This one is Those Who Wrestle with God, something along that lines. I forget the exact name of it, but it's a bit textbooky and very. It's almost like reading the Bible. Full disclosure. So it's a little drier than I like, but I like to read up on a lot of personal development stuff, and I go to the gym for an hour or two in the morning, and then get into my work day. I got into meditation, so usually my wife calls it my nap, but usually about halfway through the day when work is starting to get stressful, and as it can be. I usually go shut down for about a half hour, throw on a guided meditation, and sometimes I may end up with a slight nap in there, but I get a little reset for the day, and it's been very beneficial for me. I do enjoy it, and basically being on a regimented schedule, up every day, gym every day, walk our dogs a couple times a day. My wife is more disciplined than me, so I try and keep up to her, and keeps me honest.
Nice. Well, let's go for round 2.
I'm
gonna hit you up on the gym after this.
All right, what are we going with? What's this stuff?
That is, let's try the mignonette. This is one that if you do go to any type of cocktail party where you see oysters on the half shell, this would be a typical thing that would be shown. And like I say, it's just red wine vinegar with a splash of maple syrup and diced up shallots and seasoned with salt and pepper. So
all right,
that one there, I'm going to use this one here just because you can get a lot more in than the little spoon.
Oh, you want a bunch of it, eh?
You don't need a bunch, but I like to get a bunch of shallots. I like the crunch of the shallots.
All right.
Bit of a texture thing for me. There we go.
Oh, cheers, round 2.
A little vinegary.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I did that very eloquently, but
There's no such thing.
no.
No such thing. So you go to the gym right around the corner, Aduro CrossFitting.
Athletics, yes.
Aduro Athletics. Talk to me about, I love lifting heavy weights.
Yeah.
So CrossFit, what got you into CrossFit?
Again, my wife.
Your wife, okay.
So like you, I mean, I used to go to the gym and all I would do is, heavy weights, bodybuilding style work. And, just obviously for the longest time, it was just so I looked half decent with my shirt off. And, it wasn't about being fit or anything. It was just, trying to stay in shape and look decent. So about, I want to say probably 5 years ago, Shannon got into CrossFit and functional fitness, and we've been at Aduro now for 3 years. Both of us actually are coaches there, so we help out coaching in our spare time as well. CrossFit, it's just functional fitness. I mean, for me, it's the best bang for your buck in an hour.
Right.
There is heavy lifting, there's Olympic lifting, there's cardio, like you name it. It's it's all around, like the best way I can explain it. It's the best bang for your buck for an hour of fitness.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a great community. We've become great friends with pretty much everyone there, the owners. We do a lot of events together. We hang out after the gym. We go to competitions together. We're actually doing one that's third year in a row. We're going to Collingwood to do a team event with, and I think there's probably 20 plus of us that all rented a cottage down in Collingwood, and we're going to go down and do this fitness competition. So it's a great community. There's hero workouts, so that's a lot of first responders that go there and stuff like that. But it's just like the best way I can explain it would be the best bang for your buck in an hour to work out and get in shape.
Nice. You bring up something interesting that I've personally taken from Go to Good Life is the networking.
Yeah.
You get to know, like for me when I quit boozing and all that went along with it, I thought I would never be able to make friends again. And then I realized that if you start doing things with, I will call them like-minded people, I was able to make friends without a bottle in my hand.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I love, the networking aspect of the gym, because we're all there for really one thing. Yeah. And that's let's get into another one, and then I want to bring up the looking good without a shirt off. It comes now. I do the same thing. Who's kidding who? And but there's an ego part that got me into trouble in the previous years. But after I want to have an oyster before we get into that one.
Fire it up.
Why don't we try a lemon? Straight up lemon squeeze.
Just like tequila, I guess, eh? Salt and lemon.
So all I do is squeeze that as much as I can wring out. Now this is a fresh way of eating oysters. And there we go.
All right, round 3.
Simple.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've always, I don't mind seafood. I love seafood. Obviously, I'm here 3 times a week picking up seafood, mostly for my wife, but I enjoy it too. And you know what? Pleasantly surprised. These are going down good.
Right on. So talk to me a little bit about ego. Now, the biggest way that I've had explained ego to me, and from what I've read, is you take your body and you split it in 2, and half is ego and half is self. Well, years ago, I let my ego just dominate my life.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your experience and of ego.
I mean, personally, I guess it's a pretty deep and broad question to sum it all up. I mean, ego. I feel like if you're ego driven, you're living on a different basis. You know what I mean? You're living to impress people. You're not. It's not as authentic. For me, since I've with self-development, and since I've changed, obviously, yeah, I did live a long time in ego. Obviously, I explained to you why I went to the gym and things like that. But I think now just being humble and trying to, when you meet someone, trying to leave them better off than, before, just doing the next right thing. And, everyone's got a story, and trying not to judge. And, I find ego-driven people are very judgmental and, you know what I mean, put you in a box and, things like that. So even in business, I mean, I meet a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life, and just I find not being judgmental and egotistical is the way to do it. Just be humble and try and do the next right thing and leave them better than you left them or when you met them.
I hear you. Well,
we get into the hot stuff.
Well, before these, now the last three are gonna pack a bit of heat, so we can ease into it with some horseradish.
Yeah.
So I just like to get a dollop.
Jeez, a dollop.
I love horseradish.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's an original, but even original has a bit of heat.
Now, where do oysters, obviously it's an East Coast thing, or is it?
They're all around the world.
Yeah.
Now, I like East Coast oysters because honestly they have a much better shelf life than West Coast. West Coast,
They taste different. Do
They taste different.
Yeah.
They
look the same, but taste different.
Exactly.
Because of the water, or?
It's a warmer water.
Yeah.
As opposed to the East Coast, colder water. But I simply like, from a retail point of view, a longer shelf life is better. And that's why I gravitate towards them. I can't wait to go out to the East Coast, make it a business trip, but make a point of going out to see the actual oyster farms, because they're farmed on strings.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people know that, is that they're actually, we are in the end of April, and this is coming to the end of not oyster season. So oyster season starts pretty much any week now, where they'll start pulling the strings out that have they've sat there all winter, and now we'll get into the ones that haven't been sitting in a bubbler tank for all winter and spring. So fresh, yeah. Like these, I would honestly give probably on the fresh factor about a 7.5. The ones that come out in a couple weeks, like we're talking 9.5,
Wow.
10s on the fresh.
That's fresh.
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 Anyways.
All right.
A little different.
Yeah, definitely. Good though.
Mm-hmm.
Taste the horseradish.
So
Now, do people ever just eat these straight up? No,
Yeah.
Just for the flavor of the oyster, I guess.
yeah, it's a great question, because a lot of people don't shuck around with these at all.
Yeah.
Let's see what I did there.
Uh,
And they call it al fresco. You're just eating it the way it is.
yeah.
Yeah, there's people who just totally can't believe you would want to mess with the flavor or the taste of an oyster
Yeah.
by adding anything else to it.
There you go.
I'm both. I mean, this is a good time to even talk about the nutritional benefits of oysters.
There you go. Tell me. I like nutrition.
So, there's only one thing that's more nutritionally dense than oysters when it comes to a protein. Do you know what it is? You probably hated to eat it as a child growing up.
A protein. Liver.
Yep. You get the prize, Marty.
Wow.
Beef liver is the most nutritionally dense protein, with oysters right behind.
Oh.
So, and when it comes to protein levels, every 3 oysters equals, depending on size, about 10 to 12 grams of protein.
For each oyster?
No, per 3. They break it down most places per 3.
We're looking at like 20, 25 grams of protein here.
Right here.
Jeez.
So 3 to 4 grams per of this size of oyster, I would ballpark.
There you go.
And you throw in the vitamins and minerals that are in these, and there's some guys, weightlifters and stuff, will eat 3 to 4 of these a day, simply for the intake of the different vitamins and minerals that you don't even get in a multivitamin or by eating whole foods and everything.
That's a packed in protein for the size of these
I
things,
know.
for sure.
So that is one reason I love oysters. Like, I freaking love oysters, which is why I'm going to do a shameless plug. We started a service called Shucker for Hire. And Shucker for Hire is where you can actually hire me and our team to come to your event, weddings, any type of get-together, small, large, and we will come and shuck oysters, bring everything included. And it's a service we started about 6 months ago, and it's going really well. Like, where we seen you.
I did see you last week at an event doing that, yeah.
So that's a shameless plug. Let's get into one more oyster.
All right, what do we got? We're getting hot now.
We're getting into hot. So if you want to save the hottest, that would be the ghost pepper to last.
Yeah.
This one here is green Cholula.
I've had Cholula.
Yeah.
Well, taste of Mexico.
I love this one. This is my Frank's Red Hot. I do put this shit on everything.
There you go.
And I put a generous amount.
Okay.
You can do...
probably not that much.
It smells. Oh, I love the smell. A bit smoky. Cheers, man.
Ooh. Definitely, I mean, the different flavors do add quite a different punch to it, but
Yeah.
it seems like you can put anything on these and they're edible. So.
I know. So I can tell by the amount of content that you put out there that you really strive to put a lot of emphasis on social media. So talk to me about the role social media has played in growing your business right now.
Full disclosure, I mean, the social media thing has been great. I've really ramped it up the last probably 2 years or so, and that's because I hired someone to do my social media. So
you delegated.
My wife Shannon, she used to bug me all the time. You've got to get with the new, and everything's on social media. And if you don't have a presence there, you're just, you're leaving a lot on the table. And I just, technology is not my best friend, so I hired a girl, Heather, from the Oxford County Hub, and she's been amazing. Everything that you see on my social media, she pretty much does it all. She comes over, we shoot reels maybe once a month. Honestly, in my business and personally how I do it, if I find someone that I trust to do the job that's better than me, I'm happy to give them full control. And she's ran with it, and she's grown my followers by, 500% or more. Surprisingly enough, like, I do get a lot of leads from social media, from Instagram and stuff like that, clients reaching out. I mean, she, and she does my wife's social media as well, but you'll notice we're both different, and that's kind of Heather's plan, is to, your social media should reflect you as a person. And, I'm a little less serious than Shannon. I don't know if you've met her, but I'm sure you know. But we like to have fun with it, but also, like, mortgages can be boring, so nobody's strictly following me for mortgage advice, so I try and keep it light. We do have some good advice pieces in there and stuff like that, but we like to have fun with it, and that's what we do. But like I said, hiring Heather, best thing I've done, like for that aspect of it, because I was non-existent prior to that, and it takes a lot of stress off of me. And I mean, she does it all, so I can't really take any credit for it. I show up and do the reels and
the talent,
but yeah, just the talent here, guys. But no, she's been fantastic, and it's easy. I don't even watch the videos. She records them, she posts them. So sometimes when I'll be around, someone's like, "Oh, that was a great reel you posted," and I was like, "Oh, I'll have to look and see which one it is," because that's how little control I have of it. like certain things, like when there's Bank of Canada announcements or things that I do want to put out, related to mortgages, I will touch base with her. But apart from that, she pretty much handles everything. So,
Well, there's a lot to be said there in that, like my online mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk, he says that you should always really, I'm going to butcher this, but I totally forget where I was going to, we're going to have to fucking edit that one right out. I had a point when I was listening to you. Damn.
dig deep.
Oh, yeah.
It'll come to you right when we're done.
So my online mentor, Gary Vaynerchuk, he said that right now social media just happens to be the most cost-effective way to advertise, and that if it was billboards, he'd be touting billboards. If it was back in the day when newspapers still had a bit of an ROI on it, that's return on investment, he'd be touting newspapers, but right now it just happens to be social media.
Yeah.
But what else do you do as a business owner when it comes to the advertising other than social media, and do you find that the effectiveness level?
I mean, we have a few, like I've got a few billboards out and things like that, but honestly, social media is the main thing, and then word of mouth. Obviously, doing a good job for your clients, that's probably my biggest return on investment, is making sure I treat the client properly. So A, they come back to me, and B, maybe they're going to send their friends and family. So word of mouth is huge. It's not always about the mortgage you're working on. So that's, like I said, trying to do the right thing and leave the client better off, or the person just in general, than when you left them. And I feel like that leads to reciprocating business coming back and huge dividends that way, just because if you treat someone properly the first time, it's not about that one deal that you do, it's the keeping that client for life and trying to build that relationship where there's a huge turnover in the bank. And I tell clients, you go back there 5 years after your mortgage is done, and you probably don't even recognize there could be a whole new team there. So with me, I mean, I'm there for the long haul, and I'm going to give you the best advice. So
nice. Well, it's the last one. We have Ghost Pepper staring us in the eye here. So it does. I've had this one. I should shake this.
I was gonna say, it doesn't look like it's been used very often.
Well, you don't need a lot. You need I'm gonna go aggressive on this one because I didn't put enough on. I'm gonna put a drop there. I'm gonna put a drop there, and there we go.
Oh. All right, we're gonna go with one drop.
One drop.
One big drop, I guess. All right, what do we got here?
Melinda's
Ghost Pepper.
Yep. Awesome. Right.
Drop some bite.
A little bit. Yeah.
There's a reason I didn't start with that one. I don't know if I would have been able to finish. No.
So I just wanted to say thank you, Marty.
I appreciate it.
This is one of my favorite times of the week when I get to ask fellow business owners what they're doing in their business, obstacles, that type of thing, what you're doing to accomplish growth. And so we got camera 1, camera 2. Tell the audience first of all where they can follow you at, and what you're working on in the future, and we can look forward to.
Marty the Mortgage Guy. My website is www.martywoolley.com, and my Instagram handle is Marty the Mortgage Guy. So give me a call for any of your mortgage needs, or if you just want to chat, feel free to follow me and check out some funny content.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, Chris. Appreciate it. Cool concept, and you know what? You might have an oyster fan here now.
Yes. And for anybody out there, if you're looking as a small business to get the word out more about your business and you want to come on and shuck around and have everybody find out about your business, by all means, please contact Garrett and I at Activate Media. I am Chris at activatemedia.co and Garrett at activatemedia.co. Thanks so much. Remember, at Chris Seafood, we're here to keep your meals hook, line, and simple.
Awesome.
Right on.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's good. Better than I thought.
No, we tried should be a half hour. Yeah.
No,
Half
it's good.
hour.
Just easy peasy.